villain appears to be armed, dangerous, and wearing a red
suit.
Deadpool.
Negasonic, come. We have mission.
After the chaos of Secret Wars and Doomsday, it looks like the MCU is gearing up for a fresh start with Phase 7, and it might just be the beginning of a whole new mutant saga. Kevin Feige recently chatted with Variety, and while he didn't give away too much, he did confirm that the MCU has been teasing mutants for a while now. One of the most hyped projects fans are talking about is a potential Colossus movie. So here's everything we know so far, plus a breakdown of insider rumors about where he might pop up next in the MCU. Without further ado, let's dive in. For those unfamiliar with Colossus, here's a quick background before we dive into his MCU debut. Pyotr Nikolaevich Rasputin is a Russian mutant character appearing in Marvel Comics, created by Len Wein and Dave Cockrum. He first appeared in Giant Size X-Men #1 in May 1975 and is a core member of the X-Men. Colossus can transform his body into a metallic form, making him the physically strongest member of the team. He's portrayed as quiet, honest, and virtuous, and has consistently appeared in X-Men comics since his debut. Colossus is a talented artist who reluctantly agrees to use his powers for combat, seeing it as his duty to protect both humans and mutants. Colossus has been ranked by Wizard as number 184 on their top 200 comic book characters of all time, and IGN listed him as number 10 on their top 25 X-Men in 2006. Comics Alliance even named him number 22 on their list of the 50 sexiest male characters in comics in 2013. In film, Donald McKinnon made a brief appearance as Colossus in the original X-Men, before Daniel Cudmore took over for subsequent films like X2, X-Men The Last Stand, and X-Men Days of Future Past. Stefan Kapicic voiced a different version of Colossus in Deadpool, Deadpool 2, and Deadpool and Wolverine in the MCU. Colossus embodies the struggle between personal desire and heroic responsibility, making him a perfect fit for the MCU's exploration of mutants. With the ongoing development of the mutant saga, a standalone Colossus film could delve into his backstory, a Russian farmer whose transformation into organic steel propels him into the world of the X-Men. This journey not only showcases his immense physical strength, but also highlights his inner conflict, torn between the simple life he cherishes and the hero he is destined to become. His emotional depth is enriched by his complex relationship with Kitty Pryde, an enduring love story that can resonate with audiences. Their bond, tested by the tumultuous nature of mutant life, presents an opportunity to explore themes of sacrifice and connection amidst chaos. This narrative could provide a heartfelt anchor in a larger saga, positioning Colossus as not just a powerhouse, but a symbol of love and resilience. Given that, there's also a possibility that upcoming shows, like the new Marvel Zombie series coming to Disney+, could feature Colossus. He appears in the comic version of it in Dead Days. Zombified Alpha Flight attacks the mansion, and Colossus is seen among the survivors, fighting alongside Nightcrawler, Storm, Doctor Strange, Nick Fury, and Thor. They hold a defensive action to protect a teleporter from the zombie forces. The group realizes that their plan to evacuate survivors might lead to another innocent world being infected, so they destroy the machine and willingly give themselves up to the zombies. In Marvel Zombies Halloween, years later, Kitty Pryde and her son with Colossus, Peter Rasputin Pryde, are among the few surviving humans. Additionally, the introduction of Colossus in the multiverse, potentially through What If Season 3, can lay the groundwork for his full entry into the MCU. This approach allows for creative storytelling that can redefine his character in new and unexpected ways, setting up a robust foundation for his standalone film. As Marvel continues to plant the seeds for the X-Men, Colossus stands out as a character rich in narrative. His journey from a humble farm in Siberia to a key player in the X-Men saga not only captivates fans, but also positions him as a vital component in the evolving landscape of the MCU's mutant narrative. Hints and clues about the X-Men have been sprinkled throughout the MCU. Thanks to the Ms. Marvel TV series, mutants are officially confirmed in the MCU. In the finale, Ms. Marvel discovers that her powers are due to a mutation, with a reveal accompanied by the X-Men the Animated Series theme song. Namor is also a well-established mutant in the main MCU continuity. As mentioned, Professor X and Beast have appeared, although Professor X is killed by Scarlet Witch, and Beast is currently in another reality. Deadpool and Wolverine successfully brought a number of Fox characters into the MCU, but they either died or returned to their own universes by the end of the film, with the exception of Wolverine and Laura. The MCU's willingness to feature several X-Men characters in the film bodes well for the future of the team whenever they make an appearance. It's clear that X-Men will be a major priority for the MCU when they finally arrive. Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool and Hugh Jackman's Wolverine seem likely to continue in the MCU, possibly appearing in Avengers: Secret Wars, and Kevin Feige has mentioned wanting to incorporate them into other projects. If the MCU does a soft reboot following that film, many of the mutants already introduced could be phased out. But the film is still important, as it has made audiences familiar with mutants in the main continuity. Several X-Men-related characters are already in the MCU ahead of the team's solo movie. As mentioned, Professor X, Beast, Namor, and Ms. Marvel have all made appearances. Other X-Men who exist in the MCU include El Aguila and Mr. Immortal, who made cameos in She-Hulk. Deadpool and Wolverine's cast features several cameos from earlier Deadpool and X-Men movies, but the film ends with Wade Wilson and Logan back in Wade's universe. There's still a chance they could return in future MCU projects. One of the compelling stories MCU can explore for Colossus is his debut alongside a new generation of X-Men in Giant Size X-Men #1. This story does an excellent job of establishing the central conflicts within Pyotr Nikolaevich Rasputin's life. At his core, Pyotr is a farmer who longs for a simple life, but he finds himself constantly drawn into conflict, usually to protect others. The story begins with a heart-wrenching moment when his little sister Ilyana is in the path of a runaway tractor. Pyotr must quickly act to save her, transforming his body into organic steel to block the tractor and prevent it from hitting Ilyana. Though he saves his sister, Pyotr must also confront the harsh reality that his poor neighbors will struggle to replace the lost tractor. When Professor Charles Xavier arrives to recruit Pyotr to his new team of X-Men, he's torn between his heart and his conscience. While he wishes to stay with his family in his home country, he understands that he must use his great power to help others. Pyotr's journey as Colossus shows him becoming one of the most essential and beloved members of the X-Men, but at a great personal cost. He's constantly pulled deeper into the fight for mutant rights, having to compromise his morals and give up his dream of a quiet life on a farm. This tension between his desire for peace and his duty to protect others makes Pyotr's story a rich and complex one that the MCU could explore in depth. Well, that's a wrap for today's video, but don't worry, there are plenty more juicy updates about Colossus coming your way. So keep an eye out and stay tuned for more. Thanks a bunch for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.